Think about the legacy of Precision Turbo and Engine. I got to think about Pete Barton. You know, he was pretty young when I met him. I think he was still in high school. This goes back to when him and his dad had a business called A&S Performance. I'm not exactly sure when I met Pete, but he might remember. Pete, do you remember when I met you? How old you were?
I want to say I was probably 17. I think you came walking into our shop, and I didn't know who you were, and my dad was like, this is the guy I met at, was it Black Hawk Farm?
Yeah, Black Hawk Farms. He was road racing his Cyclone.
Yeah, right. And, you had these cool spark plug wires and, fuel management systems for us to look at and try out.
Yeah. I think the first time I met you, you were inside of an engine compartment cleaning up the wiring or something, towards the back room back there. And just like this little young skinny kid, like, who is this guy, right?
Right.
So that's Pete. So it's pretty cool. But, over the years, man, we did a lot of stuff. I'll never forget. I got great stories. But there are a couple of stories. Here's a funny story. We were putting for you guys. We were building engines for you guys, and we sold you this engine to put into this green Mustang, and you guys had a blower on it, which I didn't care. It was just a brand new motor. I'd picked up, and the thing leaked oil. Right, so it was just blowing oil like crazy. So they sent the car down to our shop, and we found the problem, which is no big deal. But it had this really cool alarm system on it, and it was a stick shift car, and we'd backed it out of the shop, and we parked it out there. And we were leaving that day, and I wanted to make sure I locked that car because I didn't want it was a really nice teal green car. So I went ahead and I was like hitting buttons, and all of a sudden the thing started and starts driving itself at us because it's stick shift, and here it comes. It finally winds up hitting the truck and the telephone pole and everything else. What a mess that was. And then I called them guys the next day and said, hey, come on, what happened? And all they did is laugh at me on the phone. It was a rough day. You remember that car?
I do, yeah. And the same thing actually happened to me because it started driving down the road and I had to run after it. Luckily, I was able to catch it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I locked the doors too. I couldn't even get in the car. So I'm pushing on the car, trying to get the door open. But, those are funny stories. But, we had some really fun times. I remember going out to Vegas. We had your car, twin turbo V6 Buick, and we went out to a race out there. I remember, what was the name of that racing body there? They had a shootout, like a shootout at sundown in Vegas.
Right. Yep.
And you were matched up with who? Racing.
Yeah, Racing Jason.
Racing Jason. He had a V8 twin turbo Duttweiler motor, rag top car, and we're gonna go out there and get our ass beat. What happened?
Yeah, well, just the opposite. We ended up doing real well there and set some records, and it was a great event.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. There's Pete hauling out his little trailer out there, and go out there and kick their butt in front of everyone, and it was just like shocked the world. And then, of course, they wanted to match us at races on the East Coast, and then we turned around and hauled out back there because, of course, they want to get back at us, but we had a problem, couldn't race that, but it was a good deal because they never got the best of us. We beat them, that was it. Right. That's just how it worked out. But over the years, it was really good, and Pete's a customer back in the early days of Precision Turbo that eventually came to work for us, and he's been with us for many years now, and we've got a couple guys that happened. Our customers come work for us, and man, what a great ride we've had. I really appreciate all those times together.
We have, and sometimes I reflect back to, I remember when I met you and where you started and just where turbo technology is now and where you've taken it, and you're really a mentor to me. And I came to work at Precision about 13 years ago, and I was a little uncertain about it, but I think I've told you this before, Harry. I don't ever want to turn a wrench on a car again.
Well, yeah,
I absolutely love it.
It was great. I mean, we turned and we we had a lot of fun even back in tuning cars and back in the day when they didn't have data acquisition. They didn't have wideband O2s. You know, we learned. Pete's one of the guys that learned from the seat of his pants how to tune a race car, which is the way I learned. You know, back in the late '80s and early '90s, because we didn't have we had stone knives and axes compared to what we have today. I mean, just to think about what computers were like back then versus what we have. It's the same thing with fuel injection, fuel management systems. But what a great ride, Pete.
Absolutely.
Man, thanks for everything. I really appreciate everything you've done for us.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.